Every time we have a negative thought or we're thinking negatively about ourselves, we're holding ourselves back from success, from progress. And this applies to all of us, but especially artists and creators. Most of us probably aren't even aware of how negative we actually are. But I'm here to tell you that thinking more positively about yourself and about your work and about your creations is going to make you a better artist, a more successful artist, and a better person. Yo, this is your friendly neighborhood knucklehead, and in this video, I'm gonna break down this book here, The Power of Positive Thinking. Now, why did I get this book? Well, the first reason was I started to recognize within myself that my ego, my negative thoughts, negative automatic thoughts, or automatic negative thoughts, or ants, whatever you want to call them, I was recognizing how much these things were coming up and they were destroying my confidence, destroying my self-esteem, and destroying me as an artist. And recognizing this within myself was not easy because throughout the day, I don't even realize how much I'm distracting myself from thoughts that I was really having. And this is why I talk so much on this channel about self-awareness, because when we bring these things to light and when we realize there are things going on in the background that we might not be conscious of in every moment, we can then understand why we do the things that we do, why our emotional state is the way it is. We basically understand why we are the way that we are. And through things like therapy and breath work and meditation, I was able to recognize that my negative ego is something that holds me back. And although it's a huge step to become aware of these things going on in the background, the next step is to really start doing the work and systematically going at these issues and dismantling them. Being the best version of ourselves is gonna go hand in hand with being the best artists that we can be. So once I was able to expose that I had a real problem with negative thinking, I moved into what can I do to start thinking differently? And the short answer of why I started reading this book is I stumbled upon Steve Harvey saying that this is one of the top 2 books that everybody should read.
But if you got to get self-help books, the 2 books I recommend is The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. That's a powerful book. It teaches you how to think positively, and that's what you draw to your life. Second book, The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. If you can think positive and master the art of thinking big, it changes your life.
And he might be right that everybody would probably benefit from reading this book, but I specifically think that this is something that artists should read. The same way I discovered that I was struggling with my negative thoughts and my ego, and I needed to work on becoming more positive, I think lots of artists today especially are struggling with their ego, and they're also struggling with a lack of faith within themselves. And yes, there are some Bible verses and there's strong themes of Christianity, but that's not the type of faith that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the type of faith within ourselves where we believe in ourselves as an artist. We believe that we will materialize to become the successful, great artists that we are setting out to be. I think most of us today are hoping we can achieve what we want to achieve rather than actually believing it. Hoping and believing are 2 different things. Hoping is not as positive as we might think it is. It's more like it would be really, really awesome if that happened. But believing is knowing that we will get there. And even if we don't get to the place that we want to get to, we'll probably be getting to a better place, or a place that's going to be more right for us. Developing that mindset is my biggest takeaway from this book, because I was very much in the hopeful mindset rather than in the knowing mindset and in the belief mindset and having faith in myself as a creator. And that was because there were times where I would battle with my negative ego. Abraham Hicks calls this our smaller self. We have our higher self and we have our smaller self. And that's usually where the ego lies. But along with my last book review of the Letting Go book, The Power of Positive Thinking was really something that set my mind right and provided this sense of knowing to be confident on the path that I'm on. Maybe what I desire and what I really want to become may happen the way I think it's gonna happen, but if it doesn't, there's a knowing that something better will happen, something more right for me will happen. And this kind of lets me put my shoulders down. I don't have to be so tense. I don't have to be always grinding to get to my dream, because I know that I'm on the right path. And this is what I think everybody should know, is that you're on the right path when you're engaging in your creative self and you're getting excited. You are on the right path. Stop looking for ways that things are not working. This was the biggest mindset shift for me coming from this book, was I was consistently looking for ways that reinforced my negative ego, like certain things not materializing as quickly as I want, certain validation metrics not being met, certain attention on social media, on YouTube, on Instagram, like those expectations not being met were going to reinforce the doubt that I had deeply rooted in my subconscious, which is that I don't really believe this is gonna work. And then when my negative ego would kick in and get reinforced by these things I was seeing, I would then start to prepare my backup plan. Well, if this doesn't work out as an artist, if this doesn't work out as a YouTuber, what else am I gonna do? This is negative thinking. So many of us are thinking negatively and disguising it by being realistic. Reframe that thinking. Reframing that thinking is going from looking at all the things that aren't where we want them to be and having a knowing that I still need things to learn to get to that place. It's okay, something else is coming. Consistently changing the lack to abundant, consistently reframing the negative into a positive. Even taking a breakup or a relationship not working out, reframing that from I lost the love of my life and I'll never get them back, into this relationship ending is making room for me to have a better relationship. I needed to learn things from that relationship not working out in order to find a relationship that's going to better suit me. And like I said, this book is more rooted in Christianity, but the principles that it's teaching are the same in almost any sense of spirituality. Lastly, I want to leave you with this quote coming from the chapter on how to break the worry habit on page 116. Fear is the most powerful of all thoughts, with one exception, and that one exception is faith. Faith can always overcome fear. Faith is the one power which fear cannot stand. Day by day, as you fill your mind with faith, there will ultimately be no room left for fear. This is the one great fact that no one should forget. Master faith, and you will automatically master fear. So that's what I want to leave you with Artist to artist, creative to creative, have faith in yourself. Have faith and think positively about your future. And let me know in the comments, what is the big doubt that you have about yourself? What is the thing that you worry about or that you fear as an artist? For me, it was definitely that nobody was going to care about anything that I did. You could also let me know of any other book recommendations that you think I should take on next. Lastly, I'm gonna put a couple videos up here. I'm gonna put my last book review, which was on the Letting Go book. And over here, this is a powerful mindset shift that is going to also help you be a better artist. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you dig this video. If you did, subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay creative.